Welcome, my RPG gamers. I hope you guys are having a great 2024 so far, and I wish you the best new year. So I want to go over each RPG that is highly anticipated. The amount of amazing RPGs coming out this year will actually shock you. Last year, 2023, had a bunch of bangers, and we were quite surprised. But 2024 brings its own lineup from action RPGs, the turn-based, to even a combination of action and turn-based combat. So let's get into 10 highly anticipated RPGs coming this year, 2024. Let's start with one of my favorites that I think any new fan is going to have an absolute blast playing, and this is the highly anticipated remake of Persona 3. So this is coming out February 2nd, 2024, and new fans are going to have a blast, and OG fans are going to have a blast. As someone who adores Persona 3, such as myself, this looks like the almost perfect remake. I know it's missing a few things like FemC and the answer, but to me the most important thing is it keeps everything from the style to the gameplay looking very much like the original, but with so many updates, and it just looks perfect. I've never seen a remake look actually this good, and I hope it's just as good playing it, but I have so much hope in Atlas, and I absolutely can't wait. And just because us JRPG gamers are always getting trolled out here, Grand Blue Fantasy Relink is the number 9 spot on our list, and that comes out February 1st, 2024. So one day right before Persona 3 Reload. Which one are you guys going to be playing? Well, I'm honestly going to try to swap between both. Grand Blue Fantasy Relink is an action RPG in the Grand Blue series, and you could play multiplayer. It's actually very heavy multiplayer focus. You're going to be going on a bunch of raids almost. It kind of reminds me of Monster Hunter by the way you kind of squad up and do missions with your friends, and then it has its own full-fledged story. The action combat here looks pretty well done. I'm not going to know until I play it myself, but from the looks of things, and there is a demo coming out soon, we're going to get a pretty good idea of how this game is playing, and it's looking fantastic. Number 8 on our list, coming out August 20th, 2024, is Black Myth Wukong by Chinese developer Game Science. Now, this game looks very interesting. You're playing as the Monkey King, Sun Wukong. It's based on the classic Chinese novel Journey to the West, and we're going to be going on the Monkey King's adventure, but it looks like they turned it into a Souls-like. If anything, it's more so an action RPG, but it does look to have some Souls-like elements to it. So this is going to be a very fun game in my opinion. The trailers show a game that they're very confident in. All the animation work and the boss designs look really crazy. Like, it's one of those games where it's either going to come out and be kind of underwhelming, or it's going to come out and blow our minds. And I think it's going to blow our minds because it just looks very well made from the trailers, but not fake. You can kind of tell when a game looks a little bit faked. So I'm extremely excited for Wukong. I hope you guys are too. Number 7 on our list is Metaphor ReFantazio, coming fall 2024. We don't have an exact release date, but they're pretty confident it's coming out this year. And this is from the creators of Persona 3, 4, and 5. It's kind of that same team that has been really popping off lately. And this looks really trippy. Like, it looks like a combination of Shin Megami Tensei and Persona. You're going to have your bond system, but you're mostly dealing with fairies and demons most of the time. And you're in this crazy alternate world, and the combat actually has some action elements to it. You're going to be dodging and basically getting into combat encounters through an action RPG system, and then it goes back to your normal Atlas turn-based. So I'm extremely excited for this game. I know many others are as well. Let's get another banger series alongside Shin Megami Tensei and Persona. Keep it going, Atlas. Number 6 on our list is Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, coming out January 26th. Another RPG coming around end of January, early February. It's kind of crazy. Now, for me, thankfully, I mean, it's not a good thing or a bad thing, really. I can't play it yet. I still got to go through the rest of the Yakuza series, but for Yakuza fans, this looks pretty incredible. It's combining the stories of Kiryu and Ichiban, and overall, the mini-game selection, the combat, everything from the trailers looks just absurd. It looks like they just took everything they've learned from the past games and dumped it all into this awesome 8th entry. So Yakuza fans, I'm very happy for you, but this is an RPG you definitely got to look out for. I really recommend the series. Number 5 on our list is Rise of the Ronin from Team Ninja. This samurai Souls-like adventure comes out March 22nd, and I'm always excited for Team Ninja games. They are just fantastic at combat systems. Now, with this game being open world, or maybe semi-open world, we don't know the exact extent, but it's going to be way bigger and more open than their past games. I'm not sure how this is going to go, because I don't think they've ever been the best at level design, unless you're going way back to like Ninja Gaiden, but I'm really curious to see how they go about this game. The aesthetic could have been a little bit different in my opinion. Like, this looks very similar to the last like 3 games they've made, aesthetic wise at least, but regardless, Team Ninja always comes in swinging, and this seems like one of their biggest projects. So regardless, I will be getting it day one. Definitely keep your eyes on Rise of the Ronin. Number 4 on our list is Unicorn Overlord by Vanillaware. Now, this tactical RPG looks very interesting. You're basically going to be going through this giant world from town to town, making your army, and then going in a giant tactical battle where it could be giant armies or it could be 1v1s once you guys get closer to the battlefield. Just the way you recruit everybody and how the actual designs of everything looks, like look how beautiful the art looks. It looks so animated and the 2D art is just great. So Unicorn Overlord is honestly kind of underrated right now. I don't see many people mention it, but I'm getting this day one, and I don't even know too much of what to expect, but Vanillaware has a really good track record, so I'm excited for this tactical RPG. The number 3 spot goes to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. This comes out February 29th. Not like we had a bunch of other JRPGs coming out in February, but this is the sequel to Final Fantasy VII Remake, and this game looks incredible, to be honest. They upgraded so many things in terms of there's a bunch of mini games, the world is more open when you're exploring around, the combat has a whole bunch of extra upgrades with a bunch of new characters. It honestly gets right a lot of the issues I had with the original remake, and everything just looks absolutely incredible. If this game is looking as good as the actual trailers are showing, this is going to be a really incredible experience for OG fans and new fans alike. The number 2 spot goes to Dragon's Dogma 2, coming out March 22nd of this year. Now, this game looks so awesome. So you have this big interconnected world, and you're pretty much going to create your character, get your crew going, and then you're going to go in and fight giant monsters. And it seems to have a bunch of environmental factors. You could set up a bunch of traps, you could climb on monsters and do some crazy things. Dragon's Dogma 2 just looks like a fun RPG, total fantasy. The combat looks really interesting. I'm really hoping it surprises us all and becomes actually one of the coolest RPGs that comes out this year. And then the last most anticipated RPG of the year is Visions of Mana, that was just recently announced by Square Enix. Now, there's not an exact release date, but they did say it is coming out in 2024, and this just looks absolutely incredible. In 15 years, finally, there's another mainline entry in the Mana series, and it's taking a bunch of cues from previous games where they have their action combat system, and it's looking really refined here. They say it's a semi-open world, so not fully open world, but this sounds great to me. You're going to have a bunch of open environments, and the boss design here looks really interesting. Like, you're going to be using a lot of elements to your advantage to get over the boss or something like that. Like, you could go through bubbles here. You're fighting this squid, and it looks like you could bounce off of what he's using, and it just looks so interesting. So Visions of Mana looks like a beautiful, fun RPG, and I cannot wait to get my hands on it. Now, while those are the 10 most anticipated RPGs for me, I wanted to go over a few honorable mentions that I've said to be coming out this year, but seem a little sketchy or we're not fully sure. One of them is Deca Police, which looks really interesting, like a detective JRPG. Now, this was just recently pushed back, so we genuinely don't know when it's coming, but they did say 2024, so another banger that's looking to come out this year is Sandland. Almost looks like kind of like in the vein of Mad Max. You're going to be exploring this giant sand land and creating a bunch of different vehicles, fighting enemies, and it's this anime style RPG that just looks so interesting, and I really need to see more of it. And then the final one that I want to give an honorable mention to is Stellar Blade, but I'm not even going to get myself excited. A long time ago, I was like, oh, I can't wait to play this game in 2023, and yeah, you guys saw what happened. So this game, I really don't know when it's coming out. PlayStation did announce that they're backing it now and that they were supposed to come out this year, but I really don't trust it in a sense. We're just not hearing enough information from the developers themselves, in my opinion. So still really, really hyped for Stellar Blade. played, and I just cannot wait to see when it's actually coming out. But yeah, 2024 is looking almost as good as 2023 in terms of RPGs. Depending on your taste, this year might be even better. At least for me, with my style of taste, this year's JRPGs and RPGs look even better than 2023. So I cannot wait. Let me know down in the comments, what RPGs are you looking forward to most? What is your most anticipated? There are a plethora of RPGs coming in 2024, and there's a lot of anticipation, and I cannot wait to get my hands on them, make a bunch of content, and just enjoy gaming. Gaming is so awesome. So I hope you guys have a fantastic new year, a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next RPG video. Peace.